15 love.
Of course, that's a shot that he's been working on a fair bit in the off-season, that return or serve. Of course, if Raonic starts to get that shot right, the rest of the tour better watch out.
I find the similarities between this match and the quarterfinal between Murray and Kyrgios. Kyrgios obviously has the weapons, but a little scratchy, the return of serve. And the defense of Murray reigned supreme that day.
His attacking options aren't bad either. What's it like when you, even if you have got a good weapon like a serve, but you're facing somebody who you know can neutralize your best shot?
I think you're asking the wrong person about having a weapon. I would offer that it must be totally unnerving that the serve of Raonic, if it is sent back, if it doesn't operate, you would want to run for cover. The panic starts to set in, and I think that that's what has happened a number of times for Milos.
He's got him.
Doesn't happen against the middle of the road players that are perhaps ranked between 30 to 70. But against the very best, the top 10, top 15 players, Raonic does become unnerved in some of these matches if they return his serve all too often.
Important game this. Last time they played, Raonic got broken early in Paris, and it really affected him more.
And you would have called that match, so you had a bird's eye view to the reactions of both players. I only saw a glimpse of some of the highlights, and it was littered with Djokovic just winning almost every point. I should say every key point of the match. The first key point coming up right now.
Well, even there, the point we've just seen, a 30-all, 221 km/h first serve, comes back. And it comes back just a little deeper than everybody else's who comes back. Keeps Djokovic in the point. Break point Novak, first game.
As well as working on his return of serve in the off-season, I believe they spent quite a number of hours on the court working on the serve. Ivan Lubicic and Riccardo Piatti. And in a way that it just gives him some different options, not having to just crank up the first serve, try to go faster and faster and bigger. Just change of pace and direction.
I mean, you can see what it's like to face that thing. Nice low down court eye view. You've got about just under half a second to react to a serve of this pace. Of course, the longer this game, this first service game of Raonic goes on, the more meaning it assumes. He'll be well aware of the fact that he just wants to get on the scoreboard here, doesn't want to go down a break. So important for the psyche.
Djokovic. Mr. Raonic is on the call.
This is going to be unfortunate if it is called good, because Djokovic hit a very healthy return.
Oh, it's an important challenge.
Now gets 2 serves. Milos.
Umpires haven't jumped in all too often. Been leaving the responsibility up to the players to challenge calls. That one got a healthy chunk of the line. Does that better than anyone else. That hard, deep return, time and time again. Such an intelligent play. It's taken on very little risk, but he's still, you know, hitting the ball aggressively to a safe spot. Another break point here for Novak. Got a decent chunk of it.
Mr. Djokovic has 2 songs.
That's what it's like when you're serving against Novak. You've got to hit it big, and you've got to hit it close to the line if you want to get that free point against him. It's unplayable.
Raonic.
Took that forehand beautifully. Nice thin contact with the ball. And that's a very important hold in the context of this match.
Good kick serve, and the preference of Raonic is to go off and where Djokovic hovered. So he's been working on adding that one down the line.
15
through the off-season. The returns, the serve, just making sure that he can spread the court with the forehand as well.
First double for Novak, also the first point that he's lost on serve. Good serving, more importantly, good accuracy. It's an absolute thunderbolt. And he can produce that power all night long. 220 comfortably. Because technique is so good. Of course, it's always got to be a combination of shots that does the job. There's the Raonic camp. Front right, Riccardo Piatti with the blue hat. Ivan Lubicic right next to him. He's gone with the clean-shaven look. More ways than one.
Co-coaches.
Very much so, sharing the responsibility.
Riccardo Piatti coached Ivan Lubicic in his career.
Much better game, much easier game as far as Raonic is concerned. He'll want a lot more of those, so after 15 minutes and 4 games, this battle is well and truly joined. Of course, my co-commentator, Mark Woodford, did a little bit of work with Novak Djokovic a couple of years ago. How was that, Mark? How was it experience getting to know the world #1? What were the things that you were trying to implement in his game?
Well, it was a few years ago. Looking at least 6, 7 years ago, perhaps. And he hadn't arrived at #1 in the world at the time. He was in the top 5, but he was certainly knocking on the door of Rafa and Roger. So I was asked to come in and help with his transition game. Just try and have him more comfortable moving from the baseline up to net. And he had found some troubles dealing with the fact that when he did arrive at net, if he got past 1, 2 times, then he would stop altogether from coming in. Okay. So it was really to just pass on, tighten up some of the volleys. As well as just passing on some thoughts of, you know, when you arrive, with the angles to cover up at net, choosing to be a bit more selective of the times to move forward, and that when you come to net, you don't have a 100% record. It's about building that pressure.
Important shot there, just to keep Raonic off balance. And what about the individual? What impressed you about that young man?
Well, the fact that he was a sponge of information. He wanted so much to be, you know, provided verbally to him. He believed even at that time that it was inevitable he was going to reach #1. He wanted it to happen sooner.
Djokovic.
Combination of shots, the big serve and the forehand.
15 long.
Wonderful linear momentum on this shot. Look at that ball. Doesn't deviate on its path. Of course, when Novak burst on the scene, it was those up-the-line shots that were so devastatingly good that troubled everyone from the outset. That's good stuff.
Robbie, I think there's the variation on that first serve. Only at 164 Ks. He didn't necessarily hit the corner, but Djokovic couldn't hit a large or a big return. Raonic was still in control of the rally. And it took a while for Djokovic to break Gilles Muller's serve a couple of nights ago. Happened in the at 4-3. He made the vital breakthrough.
See why it was so important for him just to hang on to that very first service game that he had. Placed a couple of break points. He's got his teeth stuck into this match now. A little opening. Always nice when you can win 1 or even 2 points better early on in the service game of your opponent. Just puts immediate pressure on them. Djokovic will be well aware of the dangers of losing serve.
Now that Raonic has got his teeth into this match, perhaps it's time to just take some risks off the return. Start to be aggressive in the rally.
Oh, that is close. And again, when you get into a rally like that, don't want to be losing it with an unforced error. You want to be hitting aggressively to safe targets. Has he got enough topspin on that one? No, he has not. To remember that one, put a little asterisk alongside 15-33 all. For me, if he is going to go for it, I don't want him to be going for it off his backhand side.
Was glad that we have similar thoughts. I was just going to say, I don't want him to be trying to rip winners on the baseline.
I don't mind it off the forehand side because he's got the firepower there, Mark. On the backhand, it's a little more susceptible as a shot. Just try and stay in the rally there.
I couldn't agree more. Some big hitting there. The forehand from Raonic, too hot for Nole.
I think it's a side he's got a pepper.
Advantage, Djokovic.
Base level of play from Novak is always so good. Always playing it around 8 out of 10. Nice combination of shots. Of course, Djokovic has brought in the flexibility element to it as well. I mean, check this out. Adductors, the abductors are working overtime there. Wonderful balance and strength. Attributes a lot of that sliding to his early days when he used to do a lot of skiing. Feels like it comes quite naturally to him. Again, there's that inside-in forehand approach that I think gets the players into the most amount of trouble when we're talking about shot selection. For me, it would be the #1 no-no.
Once more, the ability of Djokovic when returning the Raonic second serve, just sending it straight down the middle of the court. 6'5" is Milos. When he's recoiling off of the second serve, the ball is onto him very fast.
Just choosing the wrong shots to press against Djokovic, and it can prove costly. It's got to be calculated risks. Yes, you have to be aggressive, but you've got to play smart tennis. Break point again for Novak. Oh, he was there. And I love that chip return. Big fan of it when you're playing against a server like the Canadian.
That's a cannon. Quickest serve of the set of tonight.
And he gets there with time to spare. course, the decision making, it all happens in an instant. Double B likes it. That's always important.
Well, he hasn't been able to get the ball over on any of these break points. Don't believe even in the second game that he was able to make the return over on the break points.
Mr. Raonic is on the call.
Ooh. The ball was going slow enough. I don't understand why the umpire wouldn't have called, even the chair umpire. So this is risky for Raonic. Oh, he was correct.
And again, it's far enough out that maybe the umpire needs to give him a little bit of help there.
What happened to the linesman?
Yeah. Well, emphasizes the point, I guess. A little annoyed. Understand why. Feels like he should have made both the returns when facing break point. Wasn't able to. Doesn't like it when things get tight, especially in a tie-break situation with these kinds of players. We've seen John Isner beat Novak before. I watched Ivo Karlovic beat him a couple of weeks ago in Doha. For a piece.
Okay.
So good at turning Raonic around. It's always a good pattern to play when you're playing somebody as big as this guy. Got back behind them. Large turning circle, so easy to outmaneuver them with that shot. Only lost half a dozen points behind his serve. Wonderful shot of Rod Laver Arena. That's more of the same from Novak. A couple of break points already has Novak Djokovic. If you're joining us for the first time today, welcome wherever you are in the world. 4 break points for the world #1 have come and gone. fair bit of credit to Raonic, who's pretty much served his way out of trouble. Mark Woodford alongside me, Rob Koenig. Fascinating encounter. Mark was discussing the fact that Djokovic struggled against Gilles Muller in the previous round, and I was just suggesting that the serve and volley tactic from Gilles is something that you don't see too much of these days, and I think it really, you know, affected Djokovic. Done well, it can be effective, especially when you've got a lefty serve and it's as good as Muller's.
Djokovic's record against left-handers is very solid, though, outside of Rafa Nadal. The last person left-hander that he'd lost previous to that was Michael Lodra. Seemed to be many moons ago. I just thought that maybe Novak, it's not like he had a lot of opportunities against Gilles Muller, because when they were presented to him, he generally did take them. But the left-handed serve goes into his best return, that two-hander where he soaks up the pace and is able to repeatedly get the ball over.
Of course, if you think the way Lodra plays, not too dissimilar
No.
to Muller, is it?
No, that's
So,
right.
a common thread running through that. I thought Muller used the body serve well. Perhaps sometimes a little too predictable on the break points, but nonetheless, you want to try and keep it away from the wings of Djokovic. So if you don't hit your spot, you're in trouble.
It's like, where do you serve?
Yeah.
That is half the battle stepping up here, even with the weaponry like Raonic.
That'll annoy Djokovic because he's done so well to get in that rally. Got to look at a second serve. But again, kudos to the Canadian for not trying to go for too much too early in the rally, Mark.
It was very patient play from Milos. Djokovic usually very stingy with unforced errors.
That was the longest
Backhand.
rally of the match. It's a heavy second serve. Always nice when you get a 3 points off one of those.
5 games off.
Gets Milos's girlfriend, memory serves. Relatively new addition to the camp. Good addition, Mark.
I think so. My thumbs were up.
Yep. Both of them, I noticed.
Yes.
Okay. Double thumbs up, always important. Pretty popular boy back home is Raonic. Definitely qualify for a most eligible bachelor. Sure.
Well, it has to be a pretty good lob to get over the head of 6'5"
And as soon as you hit it short, you make sure you get the hell out of there.
Yeah. Accumulation of pressure now. Djokovic has been able to move through his serves. There was only one service game that he was down love 30, and that turned around rather quickly. Another game to the #1 seed.
As the players get looked after, they get a portion of the airfares paid. That never normally happens. Just all the little things that they take care of the tournament. And players really do appreciate it. You know, tournaments investing back in their product. Of course, don't forget you're competing against a lot of other tournaments that take place at the same time throughout those weeks. You want the best players to come to your tournament, so it's always in the details, the nuances. That's what Tennis Australia does so very well. Strong statements of intent. Tie break time, and now this is never comfortable at the best of times. So he's got one of the best tie break records in the business. Look at that in 2014 for Raonic, 39 wins, just 13 losses. This is where Novak's got to be careful.
Robbie, I'm not sure if you've heard from one of the British commentators, a former player, left-hander, owner of a big serve. He always felt that whoever wins the first point, especially if it is belonging to a big serving player, if they win the first point, there's some incredible amount of high percentage that they do go on and win the set in the tiebreaker.
If he's done his homework and he's done the numbers, you can't argue against them, right?
Well,
so
you know,
as long as he's done the homework, though, because that would take a lot of work to find out.
He's been in those situations many times in his career. He's now retired.
Okay.
So we'll keep track on the fact that Novak's not the biggest server, obviously, in the game, but his numbers are certainly up there. Winning the first point. Now up a mini break.
It's another serve that's burning through the air.
2-1. Djokovic.
Milos's comet just gone by Novak.
See if we can take a look at the reaction after Djokovic misses the forehand.
There's no question that shot got tight. No, what that is, we saw it. So
Just have a look at that.
just fell on his right foot there, didn't get it planted correctly. That's better. Using the wind to good effect. It's blowing from behind him.
3-2, Djokovic.
Got a good piece of that one. Nice aggressive swing going right over the lowest part of the net. At center strap. Love one of these. So good at that. Trying to go for a big return, just block it back deep. Ask the question.
And because the depth is decent, Raonic is intent on still going for the big forehand, caught it late enough to push it wide. For Raonic to play his part in this match, he needs the winners rate numbers to be higher than his unforced errors.
Four-three, Djokovic.
Anything you can do?
5-3,
Of course,
Djokovic.
Novak will tell us it's not about the ace race. More importantly, when you serve those aces. That was a massive one. Oh, good stick on that volley.
Six-three.
Started the point with a well-paced second serve and the backhand cross-court.
Wonderful technique. Look how he spreads the arms, the stamping of the right leg as he makes contact with that backhand volley. Boris would know all about that. Oh, my gut feel says he's missed it. He hit on the inside of this one quite aggressively, so it's got a lot of side spin. Oh, but it's got a piece of the line. Novak can't believe it.
6-4, Djokovic.
Sure about that? Doesn't matter. Still got two more bites at the cherry here. Well, he's done well to fend off Novak in that rally. Ivan Ljubicic would love a little bit of momentum magic here from Raonic. Get himself back in the tiebreaker. Of course, it's a set point, which is on Djokovic's serve now. Set point number 3, to be precise. Oh. What a gutsy point from Djokovic. And he manages to squeeze out that opening set in 55 minutes. 7 games to 6.
Love 15.
Forehands leaked a fair few enforced errors now for Raonic. 11 coming from that particular wing out of a total of 20.
Superb defense from Djokovic. Raonic, big forehand into the corner, and have a look at the stretch at end range.
And the control of the racket head as well. This is where the best players in the world are so good. Snag the opening set, and they're so good at keeping up that base level of play. No letdown. Break early in the second. Wrestle the match away from the opponent.
Living a fine line, Raonic. That was the one that he put away the previous forehand, very close to the sideline.
Still 2 break points for Djokovic, though. Oh, that's money in the bank.
Beautiful. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say that volley is right out of the Mark Woodford school of tennis.
You know, the forehand volley, I didn't want to spend too much time focusing on, because I thought it was so well produced anyway.
Yep.
It was always very tidy, compact on that side.
And often that's the one that needs more work, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because the backhand's a lot more natural shot going away from your body.
Djokovic.
Of course, Mark, who weren't with us earlier, spent a fair few weeks working with Novak. 5 or 6 years ago. Was brought in just to shore up his net game and his transition game. Of course, gave Mark wonderful insight into how this guy goes about his business, his attention to detail, intensity with which he does his work. I think the on-court mic has just had a little glitch. But back up and running. Doesn't miss that against any other player. Just because it's Novak Djokovic, you know how well he moves. Shrinks the court. That's what it feels like anyway. When you're the volleyer, you always tend to go for a little too much. Another good challenge. Gets in the end. Thanks for coming. Mark, I'm going to ask you a question I asked Jukka Elting a little earlier. Is one major a year a great year for Djokovic?
Given his history, no.
Let's have a quick look back at the 2014 season. He won a major, Won at Wimbledon, won a fair few Masters 1000 events. Finished year-end world #1. If you said to him right now, you can sign for that year again, think you'd take it?
I have to spend some time thinking about that one, Robbie.
2 more points.
I get to the end of the game.
Deal. Guessed right. Just couldn't control the pace on that backhand. So cements the breaker serve with a strong hold.
So perhaps in a response to that question, Robbie, I can think back to when I was partnering Todd, and for the number of years that we were successfully winning the Slam titles. They were important to us.
Yep.
Because we knew if we won multiple Slams,
yep,
we were going to be the team of the year,
yep,
and end up with that #1 ranking.
Yep.
I don't know if at the start of the year that we ever sat down and said, okay, we want to be, at the end of this season, world #1. It was more
a process. It just happened naturally.
Yeah. So I would think for Novak, in that sense, is looking at the accumulation of slams through a season. When he's won a number of them already, and he's still capable of taking them, lofting that trophy.
Yeah.
And when you don't, you're not holding them.
Yep.
It really riles you, and that's the focus.
I would suggest minimum requirement for him would be 2 a year.
2.
Yeah. And I think over the next 6 years, there's a very good chance, excuse me, the next 3 years, there's a very good chance that he could accumulate a minimum of 6 majors, which would equate to about 2 a year. How you put it all together. Of course, that's the unknown. It's very much in his flow. Up a set and a break here. I think that was crucial for Novak. Just eases the pressure. Can play with a little bit more freedom, especially off that forehand side.
We showed a graphic a short time ago regarding the return placement of both players, and the first 2 points highlighted that exceptionally well. See where the return lands. Djokovic takes 1-2 steps inside the court, and the point ends with the forehand. Same thing, it's a bit of a defensive return, slightly more depth off of the Raonic chip forehand. I think Boris is just repeating the same words. Same thoughts.
That's a clinical game. Hardly put a foot wrong in the second set.
3 forehand winners in that game, and a forehand to finish off with that never came back over.
He's only lost 1 point on serve in the second set, playing with a ruthless efficiency.
Robbie, I was one of those players, if I was out there on the singles court, if I got that service break, I wanted to try and pick up the insurance second break of serve. Was never satisfied until, and started to feel comfortable only when that second break of serve was on my side of the court. And I know that there are a number of players that I feel like today and in our time, they get that one break of serve and they just ride it out. They're not bothered about searching for a second break. Just wonder whether Novak is in that mindset right now. He's not being pushed when he steps up to serve. He's already got the first set under his belt.
Been able to get it over his head on one occasion in this match so far, but that's about it.
This drop shot doesn't vary at all. It's consistently down the line. He put some side spin on it. Raonic was up to the task of tracking it down.
Just noticed now a couple of times that backhand volley of Raonic, he can really only go cross court with it. We haven't seen him carve inside the ball and go back up the line to the forehand of Djokovic. Oh, he's just missed that long. Stan Wawrinka, winner in straight sets today over Cain Nishikori, 3-4 and 6. Awaits the winner of this one, and of course, some of those Djokovic-Wawrinka battles over the last couple of the years have been epics.
Very confidently played. Well executed from Djokovic. Yeah, what a wrong foot. Raonic, he was heading over to the forehand side. I think it might be time for Milos to just take up a different position to return serve. Has yet to see a break point. Getting to the end of the second set. Try and create an impression while Djokovic is getting ready to serve. Just change a position so that he doesn't see the same space.
Listen, not giving Raonic a look in, as you suggest, Mark. Blue-eyed Boris, very happy with his charge so far. serving to stay in the second set, 3-5. Really is a wrecking ball, isn't it, of a shot. She did a bit of commentary with us 13 months ago at the Barclays World Tour Finals. Did Raonic. She was there as an alternate. I had a good chat with him in the booth. I suggested that the serve was a wrecking ball. He gave me the thumbs up with the analogy. I did ask him though if he was a big fan of Miley Cyrus, and he was quick to shake me off.
Big thumbs up there.
He's a Taylor Swift fan, Mark.
So he moves to the other side, Raonic, and same court position once again to return this first serve. See if he moves. It's about one step behind the baseline. I'm all for following a game plan, but I think it causes for extraordinary measures right now. At losing the first set, you're already down a break. You have made no impression returning serve. Time to change up right now. And he's just stubbornly refusing to do anything.
And the upshot of all of that means that Novak Djokovic has got 3 set points.
Yep. There's a bit of an out, I feel, for Novak. When he can position Raonic out of court, comes into net. I don't think Milos is one of the better passing shot makers off that backhand wing. It's fine in rally mode, but getting past players up at net, yeah.
15 all.
But I don't think for Milos, there's no out. If he tries to get to net, it has to be behind something decent, because Djokovic is very capable off of both forehand, backhand to extract an amazing passing shot by him.
Backing up the line again, so effective. Because Raonic is looking to move to his left, looking for the cross-court one. Suddenly, Novak's got him playing from a position in the court that he's not comfortable with. Big point, this. That's exquisite. Initially, I thought he's coming in on a wing and a prayer.
It was. Djokovic keeping the point alive there, but that is just simply too good. You see Milos up at net, he's down low. Great position to execute the backhand volley.
I mean, he's got no business making that return and making it that well. Against 99 out of 100 other players, that would have been good enough. But of course, Djokovic is not in that category. Break point, Novak.
This is a tough choice now for Raonic. At 15:30, he banged one out wide. It was sent back so fast onto him. Chances are it's going to be down the tee. Novak could be waiting for this one as well. Oof. And that's it. That is his favorite serve. On the big points, Milos hits the flat wide. He went to the well and hit it strongly enough to erase that break point.
Does it the inside out forehand well. Breaks the sideline so early. This will give you a good look at it right here. I mean, again, it's come back so quickly. This guy's got no time to react. I mean, he's not the kind of player who would try a shot like that normally.
I mean, he's rocketed off the face of Djokovic's racket. 219.
Just the fact that your opponent is getting a racket on ball plays on your mind.
Clearly it does on Milos's mind. It's almost like he gets up there and, okay, I'm just going to hit it faster, bigger. And perhaps the reason why his coaches worked with him over the pre-season, just giving him options that he doesn't have to continually hit the same pace first serve. Oh, this is going to be close. From our angle, up in the commentary booth, it looked like maybe this caught some of the line, but Djokovic, early challenge, not happening.
Important holds for the Canadian. ridiculous. What a point.
Well, certainly the best point of the match. One of the longest ones as well. Raonic did incredibly well to make that one back.
I mean, if you described this point to somebody, they wouldn't believe it, would they?
Again, Djokovic, new ball.
Another speedy hold.
One game.
It might be time for a racket change. Of course, all those rackets get freshly strung before each match. Top boys will probably have between 8 and 10 done, most of them at a similar sort of tension, but out of those 10 there'll be 2 or 3 that are at a different tension, just to cater for changing conditions. If it's going to get cold, they probably want a racket that's slightly looser strung. Of course, every racket is exactly the same weight, balance point, swing weight. All custom made as well. Of course, rackets get sent to guys, mostly the guys at P1 who do all the rackets for the top players. They cut off the grip, then they put it into a mold that is an ideal size for each individual player. Each got their own mold. Of course, they create that mold, put the necessary weight in the liquid material so that the racket then meets those balance point requirements. And made to exact specifications for the players. Bit of trouble here for Raonic, down love 30. It's wonderful length, so difficult to defend against.
There's a frustration again for Raonic at love 30. He just pounds down a big first serve. That's at 225, but Djokovic onto it with the two-hander. And it just builds frustration for Milos. Does he go with his favorite flat wide?
Can't believe that return of serve. I don't know what happened there for Novak.
Perhaps taken by surprise that the short the serve was and kicked up.
Yeah, lack of pace on that one as well, Mark.
Kicked up like a mule. You can see there that, yeah, pace.
Yeah, just 133 k's an hour. Nothing on it. It's beaten by the lack of pace. Too good. Djokovic pounces early on in the third.
Main goal here for Djokovic is to play as cleanly as possible in this game. Consolidate the breaker serve.
My experience watching many tennis matches would suggest that most breaks come directly after breaking your opponent. You let your guard down.
the elation of having broken serve.
And the relief of finally getting the break. Just let down your guard, pay the price. Djokovic too experienced for that, you would think. Such a good shot. He hasn't even hit that one hard, but he's taken it so early.
And off of this type of serve, Raonic going cross-court leaves his backhand exposed.
And it's never good to be exposed, is it?
Oh!
No! Can you believe it? After that initial hustle.
Djokovic leads by 3 games to 1.
I mean, what a get this was.
Djokovic was in all trouble. That was a lucky miss hit.
Long.
It's massive hitting. Knocks the fluff off that one. It's a good idea of what happens if you don't hit your spot against Novak.
Well, it was like an elastic band there. Once Raonic reached the net, Djokovic got the lob over his head, and Milos, as he goes back for this, in came Djokovic right on top of the baseline.
Good squeeze on the approach shot. Close that net down beautifully, like a goalkeeper coming out, taking on the attacker, closing down the angles. It's too good. It's gone out wide on a few occasions. Now changing things up.
Advantage, Djokovic.
So that's where it now becomes a position of Raonic not betting on himself with those short balls. Instead of hitting to a bigger target and positioning himself nicely up at net, he's trying to win the point outright.
Well, that should do it, you would think. Set that shot so well throughout the course of the evening. Well, it's a sprint to the finish line now for the world number one.
Djokovic leads by 5 games to 1.
He's done so well to neutralize the power game of Milos Raonic, both his serve and his forehand.
Thank you.
Oh, it's not coming back.
Game, round in.
Not lost a point on serve at all in this third set.
You knew that was going to happen.
The ball was called out.
Just simply because I said that he hadn't lost a serve?
Yep,
A point?
commentator's curse, always.
Yep. Be in, be in.
Oh, it is! 99% out is 100% in our sport.
13-15. Mr. Raonic takes on the ball. The left corner line, the ball was comes in.
Well, he's made that one too.
14-15.
Right on the 2-hour mark. Novak Djokovic has 2 match points. Second match point for the world number 1. What a way to finish things off in style. It'll be a 5th Oz Open semi-final appearance for Novak Djokovic. 25th Grand Slam semi-final overall. He's a winner in straight sets this evening. 7-6, 6-4, 6-2.